Please stand for the posting of the colors. I thought I could get you before you sat down. Lieutenant Foster, please come forward to post the colors.
Please remain standing for the posting of the colors and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. Post the colors.
Order. Arms. Post.
Good afternoon. I'm Don Bobbitt, President of the University of Arkansas System, and I'm honored to join the members of our distinguished faculty, the wonderful staff, our students, and the many UAPB alumni and supporters who are here today with us to mark what is a momentous occasion for this university, the Pine Bluff community, and our state. If you need services for the hearing impaired, we will have a signer here in the front. Please migrate toward the front and we will be able to assist you. I bring you greetings on behalf of the University of Arkansas Board of Trustees, several of whom are with us today, and I would like to specifically introduce them to you. Mr. Jim Von Gremp is the chair of our Board of Trustees, and he is accompanied today by Dr. Stephen Broughton and Mr. Mark Waldron. Please join me in welcoming our members of the Board of Trustees. We also have representatives from a number of institutions across the state and indeed across the nation to help us celebrate this wonderful and joyous day. As I read your institution, would you please stand up and let us recognize you at the end after I've read them all. We have Morehouse College with us, Dillard University, the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences, University of Arkansas at Monticello, Arkansas State University, North Central University, the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, the University of Arkansas at Fort Smith, and Southeast Arkansas College. Please join me in welcoming these representatives. All of us are here today to congratulate Dr. Laurence Alexander on his official installation as Chancellor at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. I'm also pleased to welcome other fellow presidents and chancellors from across the state, in addition to representatives from the Arkansas Department of Higher Education, Mr. Shane Broadway, its director, members of the Coordinating Board for Higher Education, and the various members of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Board of Visitors. Please join me in welcoming and thanking all of those for joining us today. It is fitting today that we gather in the spring, just after the Easter season, to celebrate a new beginning for this university. The blooming flowers and the budding trees across campus that signal the changing of the seasons offer even more symbolism this year as Dr. Alexander begins to make his mark as the 19th leader of this university. By definition, an investiture is a formal ceremony for installing a new leader into his or her office. The term investiture comes from the Latin word that literally means dress in robe. And besides using this event as an excuse to dust off our regalia, as you can see from all of us here on the stage, these ceremonies seek to confer the authority of the office of the university for a new president or a new chancellor. And while an investiture is a time for pomp and circumstance, as we heard with the wonderful processional performed by the symphony, it's also a celebration, a time to welcome in a new era with a hopeful spirit. And as we look forward to a tenure that offers great promise for the future, I think it's important that we remember the history of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff that led us to this moment. As you know, Chancellor Alexander follows in the footsteps of another Laurence, Dr. Laurence Davis, Jr., who served this institution. Dr. Laurence Davis served this institution and community exceptionally well for over 21 years and now holds the title of Chancellor Emeritus. Dr. Davis and I actually share much in common. We both have degrees from the University of Arkansas. We both have a degree from Iowa State University, and we both go to the same barber. I had to see if he was laughing. Dr. Davis literally grew up at the Arkansas Mechanical and Normal College, as UAPB was known then. He's also the son of another former chancellor, Dr. Laurence Davis, Sr. Having graduated from this institution and taught here, Dr. Davis often jokes that UAPB is in his blood. I can imagine a day similar to this one more than 20 years ago when Dr. Davis was installed as chancellor. I'm sure some of you were here to witness that event. Then as now, it must have been very difficult to imagine what the future would look like and what it might bring. But under his watch, this campus saw a period of growth and development that left a lasting impact. The physical plant was literally transformed during that time, and we now have state-of-the-art buildings in which UAPB students can live, learn, and interact with one another. And of course, a crowning achievement came when UAPB received approval to offer its first doctoral program in aquaculture and fisheries. This program has had such a profound impact on the agricultural community in our state. Dr. Davis had success because he understood the need to maintain UAPB's historic mission, along with the desire for the institution to grow and evolve into what it is today, an even better university than when he started. As we recognize Dr. Davis's many years of service to UAPB, we should also acknowledge the important contributions made by Dr. Calvin Johnson, who stepped in as interim chancellor and provided continued stability for this institution as we searched for a new leader. When we began the search for a new chancellor, we wanted someone who understood the history and tradition of UAPB and its important role in our community, our state, and indeed the country. Our search committee of students, faculty, staff, and alumni, as well as community leaders, sought a leader who could carry the university forward into the 21st century by casting a vision that represents the history and tradition of this institution, while also leading the university into new endeavors to help shape a bright future for our students and faculty for many years to come. It's clear that we found that person in Dr. Laurence Alexander. He and his wife, Veronica, are the perfect team for UAPB and the Pine Bluff community. Like many of the accomplished individuals that have walked the halls here on campus over the years, Dr. Alexander is a man of humble beginnings who understood that gaining an education, particularly a higher education, was key to a better life for himself and his family. Born in the Ninth Ward in New Orleans, Dr. Alexander did not let the fact that he grew up in a poor neighborhood stop him from achieving his dreams. If you don't believe that Dr. Alexander values education, you haven't looked at his resume. He's a product of many institutions, including New Orleans Public Schools, the University of New Orleans, Tulane, and Florida State. He has obtained 4 degrees that cover a range of educational fields, including drama, communications, journalism, law, and higher education. He has had prominent academic roles in both graduate and undergraduate education, and his career includes experience at institutions of all shapes and sizes, ranging from a large public flagship university to a metropolitan campus and a private university. The diversity of his academic background, along with his experience as a seasoned teacher, researcher, and administrator, has instilled in Dr. Alexander the broad philosophical knowledge and the practical skills that are required to serve in a leadership role that demands both a bright intellect and an ability to balance many competing interests. And while Dr. Alexander's resume stands out on paper, what really led us to believe he was the man for this position was his passion for creating an environment that will allow our students and faculty to achieve the very highest levels. His own educational experience as a college student from modest means is one which many UAPB students, indeed many students at Arkansas, can relate. And his time in the faculty ranks of major universities gives him a unique understanding of the needs of today's teachers and scholars. While he has an appreciation for and firm understanding of UAPB's history, he also brings a fresh perspective gained from his time teaching and learning at other institutions. In higher education, across all types of institutions, we face a number of challenges. Costs continue to increase while federal, state, and private funding to support higher education is declining in many places, fortunately not Arkansas. The sluggish economy, in fact, in recent years has made it even harder for students to afford the costs associated with earning their degree. But at the same time, it's never been more important to obtain a post-secondary education to get both ahead economically and socially in our society. The one thing we all see in Dr. Alexander is that he understands these challenges as well as the challenges that are unique to UAPB, and he will help it adapt and grow to accommodate and support today's students. But Dr. Alexander doesn't just understand the challenges that lay ahead for UAPB, he is willing and ready to take them on and engage each of the university's important constituencies in shaping a positive future for this institution. We are all gathered here today because we recognize the importance of that process and of Dr. Alexander's emergence as its leader. Today's ceremony serves not only as a symbolic transition of leadership and a recognition of Dr. Alexander's achievements, but perhaps more importantly, it serves as a time for all of us who desire for this university to be its very best, to come together and acknowledge our own individual roles in ensuring that success. Dr. Alexander will only be successful if each of you is successful. He will continue to need all of our support in the months and years to come. If we can solve the higher education puzzle and the challenges that we face here at UAPB, we can not only move this institution forward, but we can make dramatic progress that will have a lasting impact on this community, the Delta region, and indeed our entire state. So I'm pleased to be here today with you, Dr. Alexander, to congratulate you and again welcome you as our Chancellor. I know I speak for all of our colleagues and friends here in wishing you success and satisfaction in your time in office. Thank you. I would now like to welcome Dr. Jacqueline McCrae to the podium. Interim Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, to deliver a welcome.
Dr. Bobbitt and other distinguished guests on the platform, all assembled. The alumni, administrators, faculty, staff, and students of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff extend greetings and gratitude to each of you for your presence here today as we celebrate a very special time in the history of our beloved University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. AM&N UAPB has a glorious past that is filled with abundant service to the city of Pine Bluff, the state of Arkansas, the United States of America, and beyond. It has lifted generations of Arkansans and students from other states and nations out of poverty and led the way in offering opportunity to countless thousands of students who sought education at its door. This investiture comes at a time when the university, like most other institutions, is called upon to address educational and resource challenges previously unknown to higher education. We are here to celebrate the union of Dr. Laurence B. Alexander and the AM&N UAPB family, and to witness the system formally invest in him the authority and power to direct UAPB in its efforts to face head-on and defeat all challenges that come its way, and to lead the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff to new heights of greatness. This event is a special moment in the history of this university, and we extend a heartfelt welcome that is accompanied by sincere gratitude to each of you for your presence here today. Welcome to the investiture of Chancellor Laurence B. Alexander.
Thank you, Dr. McCrae. We now have greetings from three individuals representing three different constituencies at the university. First, Ms. Alexis Cole, Miss University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, will bring greetings from the students.
Good evening. I am Alexis Cole, the 84th Miss University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Greetings to each of you, to our distinguished Chancellor, Dr. Laurence B. Alexander, Board of Trustees and Directors, faculty, staff, alumni, university supporters, students, family, and friends. I welcome you to the beautiful and historic Investiture 2014. This is an extremely important day in the life of this institution. This investiture ceremony recognizes and highlights the beginning of a new and undaunted leadership of the life of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, AM&N. Our university pioneers and former leaders have blazed the path for our present-day administration to sustain, grow, and lead us into an emerging and untapped realms of opportunity. As trailblazers, we will never lose sight of the responsibility that we have to transform lives and to carry the legacy of this great university. We look forward to new and endless opportunities with open minds and open hearts. With you as our leader, Chancellor Alexander, we the students of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff will reach and teach the world with the possibilities and wonders that an education at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff affords. We thank you for your presence here today, and we look forward to your journey with us as we venture into a new era of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cole. Now Ms. Cheyenne Wallace will bring greetings as president of the student body.
Good afternoon. I am Cheyenne Wallace, the Student Government Association President for the 2013-2014 school year. On behalf of the student body, I'd like to offer greetings to Dr. Bobbitt, the Board of Trustees, Director Broadway, Chancellor Alexander, our Vice Chancellors, elected officials, alumni, faculty, staff, students, and supporters from our beloved Pine Bluff community. For the past several days, we have celebrated our university's founders. We did not dwell on the things that seem impossible. Instead, we focused on things that were possible. We were not troubled by what remains to be accomplished. Instead, we were thankful for all that has been done. That is what Founders Week is all about. Celebrating those who helped make this institution what it is today. And now more than ever, we have the leadership in place and the opportunities in front of us to take this university to its highest zenith yet. Today, I invite you to join me and trust that everything is unfolding the way it is supposed to. Surrender what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. And remember that great things are awaiting our beloved university just around the corner. So as we experience this momentous occasion during the 2014 Founders Week celebration, let us come together and honor our past, assess our present, and embrace and celebrate our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace. And now we will bring welcome and greetings from Dr. Michael Bates, who's chair of the Faculty Staff Senate.
Chairman Von Grimp and members of the Arkansas Board of Trustees, the Honorable Shane Broadway, Director of Department of Higher Education, President Donald Bobbitt, Chancellor Laurence B. Alexander, family and friends of Chancellor Alexander, UAPB Board of Visitors, Chancellor Emeritus, Dr. Lawrence A. Davis Jr., Interim Chancellors, Dr. Carolyn Blakely and Dr. Calvin Johnson, Chancellors, Presidents, and representatives of other institutions of higher learning, other distinguished platform guests, elected officials, UAPB faculty, staff, students, administrators, retired and emeriti faculty and staff, alumni of this august institution, community supporters, and friends of the university. Greetings. It is my pleasure and privilege to extend to you greetings on behalf of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Assembly and Senate. The Senate is the elected legislative body on the UAPB campus. This is a great day for a great university. Though this ceremony is replete with symbolism on a very practical level, it extends to our new leader a handshake, an embrace, and a welcome to forge the kind of partnership with all of you, our stakeholders, that will continue to serve and move this university forward. So I greet all in attendance on behalf of the constituents of the UAPB Assembly and Senate, the faculty, staff, students, and administrators. I greet you with a spirit of unbridled optimism and the confidence that some of our best days are yet to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bates. That was wonderful. We're now going to have the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Vesper Choir bring us a special selection.
Lord, we give thanks to thee, for these thy servants. Hallelujah. shall thou cause the trumpets. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Then shall thou cause the trumpet to sound. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Thank you to the choir. Let's thank them once again. That was fantastic. When Dr. Benjamin was preparing the program, I said the only requirement I have is that I don't want to speak after the Vesper Choir performs. It's now my great privilege and pleasure to recognize and invite to the podium two other individuals to bring you their perspective on today's event. First is Mr. Calvin Booker, President of the UAPB ANN National Alumni Association. Mr. Booker, please come forward.
Good afternoon. To the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Van Grump, to the Board of Trustee members, the Board of Visitors, Dr. Bobbitt, platform guests. It's always good to see our former Chancellor, Dr. Laurence with a W, A. Davis, Jr., our interim chancellors, Dr. Carolyn Blakely and Dr. Calvin Johnson. To the administration, the faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends. To our honoree, Dr. Laurence with a U, B. Alexander, family and friends. On behalf of the National Alumni Association, its board members, its executive director, chapter presidents, alumni, and friends nationwide, Dr. Alexander, we congratulate you on this Investiture celebration. We thank God for you as we entrust our precious dear mother in your hands as our new leader. We all stand in the midst of history. To those that came before us, now to us, we must lead with your collective track in mind. As alumni and friends, we pledge our full support to your ideas and vision of our great institution. At the beginning of the search, we began about a year ago. We took this mission very seriously. We wanted a leader with vision, one who could lead with leadership ability, someone who could understand our mission and have a common touch with our students, a hard worker, dedicated to the task. As we stand before you today, alumni and friends, we can assure you that we have that person in Dr. Laurence B. Alexander. Thank you, Dr. Alexander, for accepting the call. For one who over 141 years, she has thrust many into this society who are making a difference around the world. Now, you too will have the honor as you lead to also sit at her glorified feet as milestones in time will be completed. Welcome to the Golden Lion country, and may God bless.
I'd now like to welcome Dr. Calvin Johnson, former interim chancellor at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, to bring greetings and perspective.
Good afternoon and greetings to all. To all of our distinguished platform guests, to our friends and supporters of this great institution, it is my pleasure to be a part of this program. Actually, I'm deeply honored. Dr. Bobbitt, Chancellor Davis looked over at my notes and he said, that's a lot of information for 3 minutes. So I'll try to get it done, Chancellor Davis. Today's investiture marks another very important and historical milestone in the history of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. To fully understand the significance of this ceremony and its focus on the university and its newly appointed chancellor, one only needs to reflect on the past, the present, and the future role of this institution. The history of AMN UAPB and its mission demonstrates the critical importance of a historical Black land-grant institution located in the Arkansas Delta. The past leaders of this institution, 17 in number, if I'm correct, all served during times that were unique to the periods in which they served. But regardless of the uniqueness and challenges, they served with dedication, with courage, with commitment, with pride and faith. Today, as a new leader is sanctioned, we acknowledge many of the present and future challenges must also be seen as opportunities to expand on a mission that is deeply rooted in its community, its state, and nation. The celebrations that take place today and preparations are made to launch the flagship of the Delta to continue a journey that started approximately 140 years ago. We greet each of you. We also welcome a new captain, a dedicated crew of faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends towards a journey into a new era. To the new captain, Dr. Laurence Alexander, we support your efforts and vision as you seek to lead the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff towards from good to greatness. May God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Now please enjoy a selection from the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff Wind Symphony. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jim Von Gremp, who currently serves as chair of the Board of Trustees of the University of Arkansas. A former Walmart executive and past chair of the Arkansas Public Service Commission, Mr. Von Gremp has dedicated more than 9 years of service to the University of Arkansas system as a member of the Board of Trustees. He is a passionate advocate for student success and has cast a bold vision for our university system to come together to solve problems facing higher education in our state so that we can graduate more students to not only ensure their individual success, but to advance the economic well-being of the entire state. Mr. Von Gremp, will you please come forward to officially install Dr. Laurence Alexander as Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff?
I'd like to ask Dr. Broughton and Trustee Mark Waldrop to be up here with me. Dr. Alexander, well, I tell you, in those 9 years, Dr. Bobbitt, this day is one of the great ones right here. This is what we try to do and what we try to represent is excellence in education, and we will have even greater of that with Dr. Alexander. Dr. Alexander, you've been duly selected as Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and it's my great pleasure as Chairman of the Board of Trustees to install you in that office with all its requisite rights and responsibilities. I'd like to ask Dr. Broughton to hold the Bible. If you would please place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Thank you. And repeat after me. I, Laurence B. Alexander, do solemnly affirm
I, Laurence B. Alexander, do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the Office of Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the Chancellor, the Office of Chancellor, the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff,
in accordance with the laws of the United States and the state of Arkansas,
in accordance with the laws of the United States and the state of Arkansas,
and the policies of the Board of Trustees of the University of Arkansas.
and the policies of the Board of Trustees of the University of Arkansas.
Congratulations, Dr. Alexander. Hold on just a second. Probably jumped the gun here. Thank you. We really appreciate your enthusiasm. We've got a couple of more things to do, and then we're going to let you do that again. Well, that was wonderful. I'd like to now ask Dr. Stephen Broughton, member of the Board of Trustees of the University of Arkansas, to present you with your official symbols of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. See?
This is truly an honor and a pleasure for me as I get a chance to pass the torch at this time from my mentor, Dr. Davis, who challenged me and many others to be the very best you can be. And he's always held me to that level, and I thank him for challenging me. It's a pleasure at this time to present to my friend, my new friend, who I've known for a short period of time, but it's been a very wonderful friendship so far. I want to present you with the Mason Medallion, which are the official symbols that represent the high office that you hold at this time. By accepting the Chancellor's Medallion and Mace, you will accept the charge to I already said it. By accepting the charge, you accept the charge to serve with diligence, dedication, energy, vision, and integrity as you carry on the duties of Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. This is heavy, but it's not as heavy as what you're going to do, brother. Congratulations. Thank you.
You guys are an enthusiastic crowd. My script says one more famous thing I have to say, and I apologize. But what that is students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends of the university. I now present to you Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, Laurence Alexander.
The end of education is to know God. And the laws and the purposes of his universe, and to reconcile one's life with these laws. The first aim of a good college is not to teach books, but the meaning and purpose of life. Hard study and the learning of books are only a means to this end. We develop power, courage, and determination, and we go out to achieve truth, wisdom, and justice. If we do not come to this, the cost of schooling is wasted. The immortal words of John B. Watson, the first president of AM&N College. To President Bobbitt, trustees Von Grimp, Broughton, and Waldrop, Director Broadway, stakeholders, and friends, I am proud, honored, humbled, and blessed to stand before you today. Proud because I am part of the pride of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Honored because you have placed in me the trust in me as a member of your team and as a part of your family. Humbled because I stand on the shoulders of 17 other superintendents, presidents, and chancellors who have preceded me as the CFO of this institution. And blessed because I know from whence I've come. And I know that I have not arrived at this point on my own. Rather, I know that I am here by the grace of God. And I know that I share this space with many stakeholders who will journey with us. An investiture is never about an individual, but it is about a moment in history. In our case, it is about this moment, the moment in the 141-year life of the university when we celebrate our past, engage our present, and envision our future. It is an honor and a privilege to celebrate this investiture and the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff's heritage of excellence with each of you today. I am pleased to welcome you, as well as express my sincere gratitude to each of you who have traveled across the city, the state, and even across the country to celebrate this occasion and this Founders Week with us. I would also like to express my genuine appreciation to the members of the University of Arkansas Board of Trustees, Dr. Bobbitt, for their confidence they've shown in selecting me to serve as Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Thank you for your great leadership and your steadfast commitment to the success of our system and this university. I also would like to express my thanks to the administrators, faculty, staff, alumni, stakeholders, and to our students who each and every day make UAPB come alive. I'm also delighted to acknowledge all of the delegates and representatives and other stakeholders who have assembled here to be with us today. I say thank you. This is a joyful day, all the more so because I share it with family and friends. My gratitude goes to my wife, the First Lady of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, who has journeyed with me over the last 25 years and has supported my pursuits even when the work hours were long and it required us to move. Also, to the rest of the family members who have traveled here from Louisiana, Texas, Georgia, and California to share this moment, thank you to my family. I only wish that my mother, my grandmother, my oldest sister could have been here to witness this day. And though they have gone on to be with the Lord, their memory remains with me, sharing the pride and the joy that we feel on this day and at this moment. So I dedicate this to them. My appreciation to Dr. Benjamin for spearheading the Investiture Committee, whose hard work, along with the work of the members of her committee, is evident in this beautiful setting that was created here today for the ceremonies, and that is deserving of applause. And I would like to thank the donors for this event who are listed in the program, who helped to make this occasion a reality. I want to thank all those who suggested in this speech that I be profound and engaging and insightful. Personally, I'd just like to make it brief. I am proud to be a part of this rich history that is embedded in the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. This day marks a new era in leadership at the university, and this day also marks an anniversary of the founding of the university. For on this day in 1873, a legislative act was passed establishing this institution, then known as Branch Normal College. As a result, we celebrate 41 years of blazing trails, breaking through seemingly impossible barriers, and reaching new heights while upholding and honoring the legacy of strong leadership, determination, and ambition. You see, throughout the many years of our institution's existence, we have overcome obstacles and succeeded despite the odds. This university has survived and advanced in part because of the vision and undying passion of past leaders who exemplified hard work, perseverance, dedication, and service to ensure that this institution strives for its highest potential and that our mission is executed. We salute leaders such as Joseph C. Corbett, Dr. John B. Watson, Dr. Laurence Prexy Davis Sr., Dr. Carolyn Blakely, Dr. Lawrence A. Davis Jr., Dr. Calvin Johnson, and there were many more in between. As I went through the interview process, I was encouraged to learn that there were not only one, but two prior leaders named Laurence. I thought it gave me a fighting chance. As Chancellor, I appreciate all that our prior leaders have done, because if it had not been for their commitment, we wouldn't be here today. Clearly, these are mighty big shoes to fill, but I will have a great deal of help in filling them. This campus is full of people who have been very supportive of UAPB, who have been champions of this institution for many years, and they continue to be champions of this university. It is with great honor and a humble spirit that I stand here at this moment on the shoulders of these giants to carry on the torch of achievement and excellence while building on their legacies. It is because of the strength and courage of those who have gone on before us that the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff stands as a jewel of an institution in the University of Arkansas system. Established as Branch Normal College of Arkansas, our university provided higher education opportunity to the underprivileged and the underrepresented. At the time, the sole purpose as a normal school was to prepare teachers for the newly freed slaves and their descendants. We later transitioned to Branch Normal College and in 1890 land-grant institution and to the Arkansas Agricultural, Mechanical, and Normal College, or AM&N. 42 years ago, we merged with the University of Arkansas system to become the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Our institution has produced dynamic, phenomenal, powerful alumni who have made and are making their mark and contributing to changing the world. Alumni such as the late Wiley A. Branton Sr., a prominent civil rights leader and attorney dedicated to ensuring that equality reached African Americans in the education system in the state of Arkansas. Samuel L. Kuntz, a pioneer in organ transplant surgery, who performed the first successful kidney transplant using a non-twin donor. In the brief time I've been here, I've had the pleasure of meeting many great alumni across this land. Among them, Arkansas State Representative John Walker, a renowned civil rights attorney in this state and region. Internationally registered engineer Ray Montague, who revolutionized U.S. naval ship design. U.S. Representative Danny K. Davis of Illinois, 7th Congressional District. Educator and public administrator William Sonny Walker, longtime leader of the U.S. Community Services Administration. Noted higher education expert Dr. Charles Nelms, a former president of a university and chancellor. Distinguished U.S. Major General Andre Piggy. And just in the last couple of weeks, I met Chicago pastor Smokey Norval, a renowned Grammy award-winning recording artist. And I talk and text frequently with my friend starting offensive tackle for the New Orleans Saints, Teron Armstead, who helped UAPB to a historic football championship in 2012 under Coach Monty Coleman, and now has moved into the Saints starting lineup. And there are many, many more. You know I wouldn't overlook the Saints. We have a strong history of molding our students into greatness, and we continue to do so today. We are cultivating and growing a new generation of scholars and leaders who are preparing to take on many of the grand challenges as leaders in the 21st century globalized society. In the midst of rapid change and transformation that has engulfed higher education, I envision UAPB attaining preeminence among historically black colleges and universities and climbing among the ranks of the best universities in the South. While enhancing student enrollment and success for the 21st century globalized workforce. Specifically, we have the kind of institution here that can attract and retain and graduate in increasing percentages more and more students in all available academic disciplines. We have a strong and diverse faculty, and we intend to continue to diversify the faculty and the staff and the students and curriculum. Not simply for the sake of being diverse, although that's not a bad idea, but to achieve diversity for the sake of enriching the learning environment for our students. Dr. Davis Sr. once said he hoped that UAPB would become a place where everybody could respect everybody else, where students of different ethnic and cultural backgrounds could live together as a community. These were his words, his dream, his vision, and because of his courageous spirit, it has become our reality. As we embrace education in a more diverse setting, we are preparing our students to become good citizens in an increasingly complex, multicultural global society. We seek to further enrich our academic environment of 33 baccalaureate programs, 8 master's programs, and 1 highly regarded Ph.D. program by stimulating teaching and research with new perspectives through opportunities in international studies and programs. We want to further engage corporate, government, and nonprofits in providing students greater opportunities for workforce development training, including experiential learning through internships, co-ops, research opportunities, work and study abroad. We will seek to encourage and assist and support faculty and staff to pursue research that attracts to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, collaborations and partnerships that yield federal research funding for scientific exploration and STEM student support. We will seek the support of foundations and corporations and private donors for the university's growth and expansion in science and technology. And we will continue to seek investment in technological innovation, research, development, and industry in this region of the Arkansas Delta. We embrace the opportunity to partner with our local and state institutions, our elected officials, our corporate leaders, our Chamber of Commerce, and other entities and economic development initiatives to increase employment opportunities and economic growth in Pine Bluff, in Jefferson County, and in the state of Arkansas. We are committed to increasing the numbers of students prepared for careers in science and technology who will contribute to the economic prosperity in the Arkansas Delta. We want to be the hub, the center, the network for advancement in technology in the Arkansas Delta. We will seek to increase the visibility of UAPB by telling our story. The essence of that story will be how we grew out of a teaching college established in the decade following the abolition of slavery in the post-Reconstruction state of Arkansas to become a destination university, known as a caring place for students with a personal touch. When I see the students who come here as first-generation students and who come from difficult circumstances and backgrounds, many are the first in their families to graduate from college. My mind reflects back on a poor boy from the projects in New Orleans, who, as the youngest of 5 children, was raised by a single mother, living in a housing project on public assistance and riding on public transportation, but received the blessing of good rearing and the blessing of a good education. We want to continue to be that institution that offers hope. We will remain true to the mission of serving disadvantaged but deserving students. We want to continue to take our diamonds who have been in the rough and polish them, giving them the opportunity to shine. We want to encourage them to seize every opportunity. We want to enrich them with the skills and training and learning so that they may build up their confidence and lay aside their fears. Let them overcome their fear by showing them that they have within them love, power, and a sound mind. As the Chancellor of UAPB, I pledge to work with you to move this institution forward. I am committed to building on the successes of the past to make UAPB a better university. That means building on the success of the STEM Academy, increasing our student enrollment, continuing to advance in the areas of aquaculture and fisheries, industrial technology, agricultural sciences, providing interdisciplinary opportunities for students in business, in the arts, in the sciences, in attracting more students to the teaching profession, which is our history, which is our core. It means building up areas of strength in the health sciences, in biotechnology and nanosciences and nanotechnology. I am committed to reinvigorating teaching and learning to ensure an exceptional undergraduate experience and a rigorous graduate environment. I'm committed to championing the values of the university to the people of this state, to strengthening our business, community, and philanthropic partnerships. I'm committed to unleashing an entrepreneurial spirit that will engulf the campus, engage the local community, and reach nationally and globally. Committed to leading a university that understands that diversity is critical to overall academic excellence. Together, we can reinvent the land-grant vision of the 19th century to meet the global demands of the 21st century. One of the ways that we have chosen to reinforce this university's past, present, and future is represented in a new brand. At this time, it is my pleasure to give you a sneak peek at the new brand for the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. UAPB represents this new brand mark, which draws on a visual and emotional connection to the history of the university and presents a sleek and contemporary unifying point for its future aspirations. At a glance, this new graphic speaks to the continuity of the university's mission and creates an exciting symbol for future students, alumni, and the entire UAPB community. This new brand represents the new era, a new era of excellence. It is a new era of promise, a new era of possibilities, a new era of prosperity. Who knows where this new era will lead? Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has it entered into the heart of men the great things that God has prepared for those who love Him. So UAPB, we need to keep on aiming high. We need to keep on reaching for the stars. We need to keep on pressing on the upward way. We need to keep on building on a firm foundation. We need to keep our heads lifted up. Keep on looking up to higher heights for this institution. As I have said before, lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, the everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Some people here, they know who the King of Glory is. So you who know who the King of Glory is can answer the question for me when I ask, who is the King of Glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, That's what that's saying. Keep looking up. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, the everlasting doors. Pastor Wilkins?
Yes, sir.
And the King of glory, and the King of glory shall come in. Thank you. God bless.
Simple question. Did we find the right person? And now, Mr. Stephen Howard, class of 2015 and a computer science major, will bring us a special performance of Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see 'twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed, through many dangers, toils, and snares. I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We've no less days to to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, amazing grace, how sweet the sound, the sound.
Thank you, Stephen, and congratulations. That was just fantastic. And now, former interim chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, Dr. Carolyn F. Blakely, will come forward to bring closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Bobbitt, and thank you, Mr. Howard, for that wonderful rendition. And bless you, Chancellor Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, we are both pleased and honored that you've chosen to share this very auspicious and historic occasion with us this afternoon. And we certainly thank you for your support. You've been a really grand and outstanding audience. Thank you so much. The University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff is assuredly vital to this city, to this state, to this nation, and now even globally. We're committed, as we always have been, to nurturing and developing the kinds of graduates who are prepared to assume positions of importance and productivity when they enter their chosen fields and environs. Your continued support and engagement with this task bolster and validate our efforts, and for that, we are eternally grateful. Please note, as you leave the auditorium, please note our statement of acknowledgement and gratitude to all of you who are not only here today, but who've also extended support, encouragement, and faith in our efforts for so many years. Finally, we also ask that you remain seated during the recessional and that you wait for a host or hostess to escort your section out in order to avoid having to stand in an excessively long receiving line. Again, I leave you with these things. We thank you and trust that you will meet and greet our new Chancellor, Dr. Laurence B. Alexander, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the retiring of the colors. Remain standing for the alma mater, and then be seated for the recessional. Retire the colors.
Order! Order!